Quadratics, equation, parabolas, and other graphs. Exam practice question 29. A rectangular framed picture has a total length and width of 20 centimeters and 10 centimeters respectively. The frame has a width of x centimeters. So we are going to look at finding a rule for the area of the picture inside. So the picture inside is this yellow area right here. So to do that, we can see the width is the whole of 10, and we're minusing x on both sides, and the whole length is the whole length, which is 20, and then we've got the width of x on both sides. So that tells me that with our area rectangle, it's base times height. We've got the base is 20 centimeters minus 2 lots of x's, and our width is 10 centimeters minus 2 lots of x's. So that's what we know. Okay, and that's what area equals. So the next thing it's S is what are the minimum values of x? Well, one, x can't equal 0, and we want x to have to be equal to more than 0, and it can't be negative. So let's look at this. Straight away, I'm going to pick 10 minus 2x is equal to 0. Because if we make one of these sides 0, then everything is 0. So that shows me that we've got 10 minus 2x. I want to get x by itself, so I take 10 from both sides, and I get negative 2x equals negative 10. And then I divide both sides by x, and I get x equals 5. Now, if I look at the other one, I'm going to get a bigger number, but that means if I've got any bigger x than this, I'm going to have one side that is a negative, so I can't have that. And that gets us to start thinking about C on when we are sketching. So, the first thing about when we are sketching this, it's usable values for this, which means, yes, we're using a parabola, but we're not going to have all it won't look like a parabola, because we are only using this here, which is 5, and then we are going to be thinking about our starting amount of our area. So to do that, I'm going to expand my brackets here of my equation, and to see what I have for C. So I've got 20 times 10, which is 200. I've got 20 times negative 2x, which is negative 40x. Negative 2x times 10, negative 20x. And negative 2x times negative 2x, which is positive 4x squared. Let's move that over so we've got some space. 4x squared. Now, based on that, once I simplify this of negative 40x minus 20x is negative 60x, I can see straight away my C. And my C is 200. Because if you can't see it, I'm just going to put it into normal quadratic form, which is ax squared, bx, which is negative 60x, plus my 200, because it's positive. We can see that C is 200, which means my amount that's crossing at the y is the 200. So here, now I have got my graph. So it's starting up here at 200 and going all the way down to 0. Okay, so now we've got this, we then look at the next part. Now, the next part here states, explain why there is no turning point. Well, we can't have a turning point if it's going to go into the negatives. And likewise with x can't be a negative, so that's why it's only on the positive side. And area cannot be a negative either. So now if we look at the next question, it tells us explain why there is no, find the width of the frame if the area of the picture is 144. So if we're told the area is 144, I'm going to put back what we already had of our equation. So using this, we know it is equal to 144. I want my 144 to be on my other side, so I'm going to take it away from both sides. That leaves me with 4x squared minus 60x and plus 56. Okay, so now because it's wanting me to find the value of find the width of the frame, I'm going to have to work out what x is. So to do that, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. I could use factorizing, which I will use first, but if I can't, then I will go the next step. So with factorizing, it's a times c. So a times c is equal to 204. Now I need to think about the two numbers that times to equal that, which is 2 and 112. I've got 4 and 56. Straight away, I found my two numbers, 4 and 56. And they both need to be negative to equal b, which is negative 60. And if I times these together, they equal exactly what I need. So, based on that, I'm going to rewrite my equation. So that means I've got 0 is equal to 4x squared minus 4x minus 56x plus 56. Now I'm going to factor my 4x squared minus 4x, because there's a factor of 4x on that side. So 0 equals 4x in brackets, x minus 1. And the same with the other side. I'm going to factor out negative 56. And that leaves me with x minus 1. So that leaves me with 4x minus 56. And the other bracket is x minus 1. Okay, so if we look at this part now, and this factorized part, we're going to make both of these 0, because that's what we need it to be. We need it to equal 0. So the next step that we're going to be looking at is if I make 4x minus 56 0, that will be 4x equals 56, and x is how many 4s are there in 56, and that is 14. Now straight away I see 14x is outside that 5, so it can't be 14. But I look at the other side. X minus 1 equals 0, so x must of course equal 1. So that means the width of the frame, So if x is 1, it says to find the width of the frame if the area of the picture is 144 centimeters squared. The width of the frame is 1 centimeter.